We're gonna do a little facial massage to just get the jaw and the neck, the face to just feel like it can relax a bit. If you have been looking at your phone a lot, or a computer screen, or a television, there tends to kind of create this tension behind the eyes and between the eyes, as well as the jaw. Sometimes we've got some unprocessed stuff in our jaw. So I'm just going to show you guys some really simple things that you can do. So hands on. We're going to go right to basically where when I open my mouth, this little space right here between the upper and the lower jaw, kind of like right in front of the ear. You're just going to really gently circle. You can do this with your hands. You can do this with therapy balls. The yoga tune-up balls are awesome. But I'm just kind of like locked into my tissue here. And I'm just going to move. So I'm going to keep the pressure in towards my other fingers, kind of like a little dowel. And then I'm going to just open and close my lower jaw. Nice and slow. So for me, I have more tension on my right side, so I'm going to focus on a little bit firmer pressure. I like firm pressure. You don't have to go super heavy here. Just go to a degree that feels like it's effective, but not like you're like stabbing, punching into yourself really hard. So I'm taking my tissue here. So once you get into an area of tension on your body, kind of hook into the tissue as much as you can, and then you kind of grab and twist it. So again, you could do these with the therapy balls. I just find it easier to show you with my hand. I'm twisting, so I'm digging in and just taking it in a circular direction, and then the other direction. And then I'm just gonna kind of grab the tissue on the side of my jaw here, and all of this is connected through that like fascial webbing. So I'm just gonna grab my lower jaw face area and just kind of hook in and stretch forward. So as I kind of stretch forward, I'm thinking about moving my skull back. And you can do up and down, side to side. It gives it just like other dimension to work. As you dig the heels of your palms in, I could also open and close the lower jaw. I know this looks funny, but it feels so good. Okay, circles right around like the cheekbone area. I like my palms in that area. I've of course washed my hands since I'm doing this. Another one down here on the lower, kind of like hook into the little crease-ish on your chin, or if you don't have that, just hook in. You've got these two cranial nerves, facial nerves here. So you're just kind of trying to mobilize the soft tissue around that space. And again, I'm going to open and close. Okay, so that's kind of softened up. Right between the eyes here and up into my sinuses, you can push in to the tissue and up towards between the eyebrows. So as I push in, kind of opens up the sinuses. So as I push up, I'm just letting my face relax as I do that. Okay? And then you can go to the temples. Same thing. You can kind of circle. I know this looks funny. Kind of figure eights. As you seek into the sensation of the tissue under your hands, like really try to, instead of just going through the motions with this and like, you know, kind of like robotic, get more exploratory with your touch on yourself. So for me, I've got some tension under the eyebrows here, so I'm just kind of grabbing the tissue around it and I'm just squeezing together. So this helps our, definitely obviously helps the connective tissue in the face relax, but it's also kind of sends a signal to your brain that it's all is well. especially if you're one of these people that create this like tension between your eyebrows. This can be a really good one for you. For you folks, you might want to kind of like hook in and like rainbow the tension out. Yeah, and I know you can do this with gua sha as well. If any of you know what gua sha is. Circle. And then I'm going to go over by my, kind of by where my vagus nerve, so this muscle, sternocleidomastoid, that big guy, this muscle goes up, attaches all the way up here by your jaw, and gets kind of sticky. So I like to just kind of hook underneath it when I'm doing like self neck and face massage on myself, so you can kind of see that. So you can work your way, and I'm just really lightly, I'm just kind of like hooking up and under and doing, we'll see if you can see that, hooking up and under the muscle, like trying to get behind it. A lot of people are very sticky here, mostly because, well, there's several reasons, but maybe because you're dehydrated, or your head has been in kind of like a shifted forward position for a long time without ever like really fully using those muscles to help stabilize the head and neck. And there's a ton of like the deep cervical flexors here as well. They go right up along the spine. But we're just working with this more superficial muscle here called your sternocleidomastoid. Sterno for sternum, cleido for collarbone. So there's two legs of it. This one's stronger, more defined. So, and then up to the mastoid, SCM. So as I just kind of grab, so I'm just gonna palpate. So I've got some tension here on this left side, so I've just kind of stayed hooked into it. I'm gonna breathe. And then I'm just gonna explore movements of the head and neck, movements of the jaw, till it feels like things start to free up. It's like the cells that are holding tension get the memo that they don't need to hold the tension. They give them more opportunity for freedom, movement, space. This is really good for headaches. Like as I'm right here, I'm on this little like ball of tension, little trigger point area. And there's nerves that they call them trigger points. It's basically, there's just pathways from this point up into my face. And this, when I get on this spot, is going like all around and behind my left eye. So again, just coming back to that idea of like, you're just trying to create that like suppleness around the head, jaw, and neck. And also trying to give kind of like more space to the brain itself. Okay, so then I've got my hair up here. You can go to the back of the head, and you can literally, I'm going to take my hair down. You can literally take your hands, if you've got long hair, or guys, you can literally interlace your hands like through your hair, and you just give a gentle like shifting of the scalp. So you just hold onto the hair. You can take it in a circle. And so you're just trying to feel the scalp gliding on the skull. And the tissue here gets tense as well. You've got cranial nerves that come up out of your skull from your brain and attach to this external tissue here that you're on. There's really no separation in the body. So I've got a tighter side on this right. You can probably see that. So when I grab and pull up on the left, you can see how that affects some of the tissue of my face, right? My right side, much tighter. I kind of sink into the tissue. I've got my hair kind of grabbed there just gently, and I just take the tissue up, and you can see what happens to my right eye and face. This side versus this side. I'm not doing that with my right eye. This is all just all of this tension on the right side of my head. So this is kind of like a self-care practice. But I feel like if you're really doing self-care well, Well, there's like so many definitions of self-care. But the real like juice of the self-care, the real like fruits of your attention are is the attention itself and where you're putting it. And so, if that makes any sense, it's like the tension that's being held that has a memory of tension in my body. It's like I'm consciously aware of where it's holding, and then I can consciously be more conscious with how I'm releasing it and letting it go. So, for example, me on this right side, when I get into this right side and kind of mobilize that scalp and the tissue layers of the fascial layers that kind of sink and connect all through my face, specifically like the right side. It's like if I rotate and lift, I can get sensation, like a stretch sensation up the back of my neck, down even into my right shoulder blade. When I go here and kind of pull up and back, I can feel this pull. So when I shift up, I feel this deep pull into my jaw, even like the side of my tongue. So the point is that it's not linear. When you're trying to get release, especially through the face, the neck, the jaw, you're going to have unique tension based on your tension patterns and your life patterns. So give that a try. I would highly recommend that you really focus on your breath, as if you could direct your breath into those areas of the body. When you're done, sit rather than going and doing. Close your eyes. Take a breath. And see if you can allow the bottom jaw to feel like it's getting wider in the back. You're just gently stretching wider and then resting. And then hone into, as you widen the lower jaw in your mind's eye, if you can imagine like your tongue could sit heavier and deeper inside of that lower part of the mouth. Even the root of the tongue feeling like it could widen and sink heavier. And then as that stays soft and rooted, imagine lengthening the very crown of your head up to the sky without tensing the lower jaw or the tongue. And taking a breath, inhale, pausing, check in with the tongue, check in with the jaw. And then as you exhale without creating tension in the mouth. Inhale, watch the air flow in through the tip of the nose, as far down into your body as you can get it. Once you're full, check in with the tension in your jaw and your face. Try to soften. And then exhale, let it go. And see if you can get empty, empty, empty. Make yourself smaller, smaller, smaller in space without creating tension in your tongue or your jaw. It's tough. One more inhale. Fully, completely feel yourself expand in 3D. Pausing, noticing the tension, softening. Exhaling till you're completely empty, completely empty, completely empty. Check in with the jaw and the tongue, relax. Inhale once more. Exhale through the mouth. Little rolls of the head, side to side. You can go ear to shoulder, and you might get a couple cracks here. Just really try to go slow so that it's a really rhythmic. Oh, it feels good. Really rhythmic, nurturing kind of a movement. We're not looking to crack the neck here. We're just looking for fluidity of motion without the upper or lower jaw being super tense. Come back to center, take a breath. into your back as much as you can. Fill up the back lungs. Your lungs are actually bigger in the back than they are in the front, so fill up there with your head down toward your chest. And then as you exhale, keep the shoulders heavy and soft, and slowly lift the head. Give that a try. Let me know how it goes. You can comment down below if you have any questions or comments. Let me know what you do to keep yourself chill during this time. Bye.